Well, extremely and costly disasters are increasing amid our changing climate, but experts are starting to harness the power of AI, not only to reduce the impacts of these destructive events, but also save lives.
So joining us to discuss the next gen approach is Dr. Ali Mostafavi. He is a professor and civil engineer at the Texas A&M University. Thank you, sir, for talking to us this morning. We just went over how AI has saved us from Google with, forecasting.
Yeah, hurricane
now
forecasting.
let's talk about how, flooding being one of the most deadly natural disasters here, and in this case, how AI can help reduce response times.
Thanks for having me. Yes. So AI brings tremendous potential for reducing response time for flooding. How would that work? So we take weather predictions about rainfalls and weather patterns, and AI can ingest other sources of data such as historical losses, the flood maps and characteristics of each individual community, and downscale the flood impacts at the neighborhood level. And with that, we can have this predictive power to position, let's say, search and rescue teams and identify areas that will be impacted most, or areas that will have the highest level of damage 24-hour, 48-hour ahead of a storm event, so that we can be ready and do the response more proactively, and that tremendously reduces the response time.
Okay, so we want to talk about how these models are actually digesting, and then we can respond to that a lot faster, because the speed and computing power are just some of the advantages of AI when you're talking about computer models, which we saw during hurricane season was huge. So how does digesting different data points translate into some of the actionable ideas?
Absolutely. So when we talk about digesting different data points, we are not just talking about one modality of data, for example, like weather predictions or rainfall sensors or flood gauges. We are also talking about satellite imagery. We are talking about complex data sets related to Earth observations, etc. So AI enables bringing these data sets from different modalities or different types of data into a unified format, so that we can predict where flooding will have the most tremendous impact, where the vulnerabilities of the communities are, for example, integrating socioeconomic characteristics of communities, infrastructure characteristics, so that we can go from just predicting the hazards to anticipating the impacts and where the hotspots of the impacts would be. And that's where the power of artificial intelligence is.
So, Dr. Mostafavi, how far back did you have to go to get the model to learn to use the AI?
I think we can use all the historical data for a specific region. For example, if you look into, let's say, Houston, which is one of the most flood-prone areas of the country, we can go back and look into all the historic flood events that happened in Houston, including recent events such as Hurricane Harvey and Superstorm Imelda. And these models have the capability to digest this tremendous amount of data. And then when a new hazard event, new storm happens, we can not only look at what the threats of the new event is, but also they can ingest the historical vulnerabilities and exposures. And that gives us a more complete picture about where the hotspots of impact could be, so that we can be more prepared for an upcoming event.
We only have about 20 seconds. Is this being used right now for any emergency managers? If not, when can they start using this stuff?
And not yet, but I think there is a growing attention and growing recognition in the emergency management community about the power of AI. And I think the challenge is that the field of AI is moving fast, and at the same time, emergency management organizations are dealing with disasters one after the other. So the challenge is making these two meet each other and enable deploying AI systems into emergency management.
And it's coming on fast. Dr. Ali Mostafavi, thank you very much, Professor of Civil and Environmental Engineering at Texas A&M. Great information. It's machine time, Steph. It's machine time.
That it is.